No, we're completely. Hello and welcome to VDRL Racing League. This is the final race of the. I think it is season 11. So welcome everyone. Welcome. And today we are at Monza, round 12, I think, of a 12 ticket. So as I said, it is the final. I think I'm not kind of exactly too sure if it is the we still have a season, so we have a championship running, but let's have a double check and run it through the order. Right, Friday, here are the standings. We have Toro on 248, and then we have T.S. Cosman, who's on 242 he's 5.5 behind. And I don't think T.S. is in, so I think that could be. I don't think it will be possible, so I think Toro is our reigning champion, as well as in the commentary box.
Right, well, yeah, we are here in the last round of the season, and don't know where Yoshi's gone, but I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. As I even though I don't think we have a championship fight anymore, but I think still be interesting on the terms of the driver standings.
It definitely will be the case. Welcome along, everyone, here to the final round, as our wonderful YB has already introduced. We are here at Monza. What an exciting race this is, especially how we've already confirmed our two-time Toro Van Dijk. I think we've already christened him after this season. But remember, the constructors are still at stake. Who can take these constructors home? That's the big question. So keep an eye out for today. But Toro, well, YB, he'll be a pretty happy boy, won't he?
Yeah, well, I think you'll be very happy. It's just as Martin said in the chat, the constructors is still all fight for today. So let's see who can win it.
It definitely is. Right, we've got a full list of drivers today. Actually, I don't think we do. We've got 16 drivers here today, so maybe not a full grid, but our champion isn't here. Now, Toro was pretty lucky, I have to say, with Tiaz Corson dropping out today, and then obviously Ruben dropping out earlier in the week, which obviously got him 2 championships. So Toro, a driver who's never ever had a championship in the VD Racing League history, has just come out and got a championship. Now, not one, but 2 championships. So he'll be very, very pleased with this one as we go into Monza. Well, for him, it's more of a fun race, but he will have to keep an eye on those constructors, won't he, YB?
If I quickly look at the constructors, I think Alpine are only 20 points behind, so that's going to be really key. As I'm pretty sure we only have 1 Red Bull tonight, so that really will be costing for Red Bull, but it'll also be costing for Alpine as well.
It definitely will. The Racing Bulls, well, they're very, very happily in the lead at the moment. But if the Alpine can do something, that's a big question. Keep an eye out today, ladies and gentlemen, who on earth will manage to bring themselves to the top of the tables. Put your predictions into qualifying because it is qualifying time now. So put your predictions into the chat and we will read them out. But, right, well, yeah, 20 points between them. Red Bull are joining in, but 91.5 points behind the leader. So they're pretty much out of the mix. So it is, confirmed basically, of Racing Bull versus Alpine. YB, who's coming out on top?
I think it'll be tough. I think Toro has a qualifying ban, so that really will help Racing Bulls. But yeah, if Alpine have a really good day today, which with between Scissor and Trat, it could be possible. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Alpine tonight.
Well, we'll have to see what Alpine can do. But the Red Bulls out here today, Polly Trump. He is a driver in Tier Saturday, but also a driver here on Tier Friday as well. Let's see what he can do. Can he defend off both of the Alpines? Will there be an incident causing both the Alpines? Who knows? 16 drivers on the grid. Toro has got a... well, I don't know if he's got a qualifying ban or if it's just because he's the champion. He's going to have to hold back and go from the back of the grid. Now, we have seen the last of first. That's Tiaz Korsman in, I believe, Japan, maybe. to the last to first. So that could be a possibility out here today from Toro in the Racing Bulls. Right, who else in the race? It is just only Toro in the Racing Bulls. So could he do it, outscore both of the Alpines today? That would be an incredible job from him on board now with Froby. Now, Froby, he's had an interesting season, Froby, but we haven't seen too much of him, have we, YB?
No, we haven't, but there's only 16 drivers today, so he could get a decent amount of points tonight. So let's hope for the best for the Kick Sauber driver.
It possibly does. Right, well, here's a word from the champion. He's already been confident. He doesn't have a qualifying ban. He just wants to do it after first. So he'll be pretty happy with that one. I guess, YB, just a typical champion thing to say.
Yeah, it is typical, and you know what? I don't blame him. It's technically it's a race that does not matter to him. It does to the constructors, but for him on a personal status, it doesn't matter. So I can't really blame him for doing this.
Well, it's a Toro. I'm one driver championship second in a moment. So you know, we'll have to see what Toro does from the back of the grid today. Obviously, giving himself a qualifying ban. For fun, basically. But do put your predictions into the chat. We'd love to read them out for qualifying. Who will come out onto the top step of the podium as well as pole position as well. Right, well, Froby's still on a lap at the moment. He is up on his lap. Well, I mean, he can't really go down if you haven't set one yet, have you? So here he comes now through the S's. He's got, coming into sector 2 now. So he is properly quick, actually, Froby. He's had some good qualifying performances in the past, but still, YB never really shown it too much, being at least in the top 5.
No, usually we do see him towards the middle pack, or not towards the back, but he does fight for good positions. But I think, as I said earlier, tonight is tonight to prove himself that he's a very quick driver, alongside with him and Vastan. So it will be interesting to see what them two can do. See if they can really set the fight up to the front of the grid. But yeah, let's see what they can do.
Well, our predictions already coming to the chat. Jay, welcome along, buddy. Poli, Nilu, and Julian. I've not heard that one. Throw me to the top of the table. 119.2. Who could beat that at that time for now? Max Fan. Hello, mate. He's back, and he's going Julian as well. Poli, and then Trap Race. Ooh, Trap Racer. Let's see what he can do. No, Julian there in P9. Let's see what he can do. He's been a favourite at the moment so far, YB. We've not heard of Julian at all.
Yeah, before the session started, I thought we have a new driver. And you know what? I'm going to say I don't have any high expectations for him. I just hope that he qualifies at least distant. And as you said, the YouTube chat seems to really be keen on him. So let's see what he can do and see if he puts any effort in, see if he can hinder any of these drivers today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a little thing into the chat. Put your best memory, because we're coming to the end of Season 11, onto Season 12 in 2 weeks' time. Do put your favourite memory of Season 11 in the chat, and what was the best, well, your favourite memory and why? I mean, for me, it's definitely got to be Japan. What about you?
Oh, between that on the very first race at Imola, when I accidentally got put into that car, now that was hilarious.
That was incredible, and he was commentating from the car, so how he even managed to do that, I have no idea. Our skillful Ivy there. Yeah, Max Fan already coming in for the Jinx stream. I think we should just rename that whole stream to the Jinx stream. I mean, that was just beyond. Trap Racer going over the curb a bit too much there, through the S's, no, not good at all, and he's invalidated lap time. We've seen the driver invalidated lap time earlier, but, well, you know, it's only early into the session, 12 minutes, 45 left to go to the session, and there's plenty of time. Jay, Toro finally getting the championship. That is the best moment. We never actually saw it, did well. Do we call it, did we say we saw it in Spa? Or I don't know, do we?
I think on a circuit level, yeah, because we never, we did crown him during the time that we were racing, but I think from like an actual league point, I'd say yeah, I think he would. So we got a thank you from Jan. Why be making his debut as a lead commentator? Thank you, thank you.
YB, one of our proudest commentators here, making his appearance as one of the lead commentators, and he's back up in the lead as well once again here Obviously, Yoshi sadly not making an appearance, so I'm not sure what's happened, but maybe he's just out for tonight, having a bit of a night out, partying, knowing that Toro is the champion, that's for sure. Boaty, welcome along, buddy. Boaty, I don't really know what your proudest moment could be. I think it's sheer being bad luck, I think too sadly, but you never know. Season 12, what can it bring? I mean, your expectations as we're heading into Season 12, YB?
Oh, I think if we have the same set of drivers, and I think if a lot more people will now understand the game a lot more, I think we could have a really strong battle for both the constructors and the drivers. But could Toro go back to back? That's the key question. Could he?
Could Toro go back to back? That is the biggest question. Well, he is kind of back to back if you put it like that. Right. Well, that is the most important thing. We have got. Now I don't know with the calendar. We've had a chat from Jan there. He said, "What do you think of the new calendar in the league?" Now I haven't seen it. Is it the same or is it the? Have you seen the new calendar yet, YB?
No, I haven't, because I don't think Martin has made any news about it. But I wouldn't think it would be the exact same, because you would want to kind of switch it up, maybe give some drivers to not have the same winners. You would think maybe switch it up, maybe you have, I don't know, maybe Netherlands reverse, or maybe Silverstone's reverse, something like that. Maybe just have a wild card.
Possibly. Well, we've got some news there from VD Racing in Season 12. That's a big shock now. So we've already lost one true contender. So it could be Toro maybe going for a third championship. Well, depending on if it's a Friday or if it's a Saturday. Which could be a second, basically. Welcome along, 8 viewers. All of you guys in here, thank you all so much for coming along. Oh, that's a good question. What about the qualifying in China, sprint qualifying? That was good. That was very good. I'm shocked that an Alpine can reach the top 10. What about you, YB?
I watched it this morning as well. I was actually shocked, and I was shocked about the pace of Max. He weren't, like, obviously he was in the top 10, but I was expecting maybe top 6 or something, but that car is not doing well for both Isaac and Max.
Well, have we announced the retirement of Boaty? That may just be the biggest thing. So we've lost. We haven't lost TS Corcoran. TS Corcoran's still here. We have lost Ruben to Tier Friday. We've lost Kevin Van Dyke as well. Could we lose Boaty? When do we lose Toro? That's the other bit. Toro will probably be here for a long time. We know. The fact he's got a championship, we're very happy on board with Julian now. He had a bit of a slide out turn 2 there, but he's all good as well. Right. Well, then the huge contenders, YB, are now dropping like flies. What on earth is going on?
Right, it could just be this year's game. It's not really the best game for really drivers to really race on, and again, I think it's just a whole world process. Sim racing just seems to just be dwindling at the moment. It's like having less and less drivers across many different leagues, so that could be a key thing, or drivers are just sadly moving on with their lives.
Well, we have just had the calendar come through for the Season 12. We'll be opening on the 20th and 21st of March in Australia. Now that will be a good round, that's for sure. Round 2 will be in China, round 3 Japan, round 4 Imola, round 5 Spain, 6th Belgium, 7th Netherlands, 8th Las Vegas, 9th Mexico, 10th Brazil. Now that, YB, is a good calendar. I like that.
It is. You know what? If we're starting at Australia and finishing at Brazil, it's kind of mirroring a couple of F1 seasons ago. But yeah, I actually do like that. Having Brazil as the ending and Australia as the opening, gonna bring some chaos along the season.
Well, then Australia as an opener, I think that's a good idea. I mean, we'll have to see. We will have to see how the season will go and how the drivers will cope. Toro, I don't think he's a fan of it at the moment, but you never know. Could he come out on top? That's the other question. Right, well, Neil so far, let's go back to the session. 117.960. He is our current pole sitter. Now, who else can beat him is the big question. Right, well, yeah, I think that calendar is pretty active, and the circuits in it are challenging and good for the drivers. Now, we are back to Japan, YB. Now, that's a slight problem.
Yeah, it is. Could that bring the Jinx back? Could it bring, because Buzz too? Could we see maybe Yoshi going into a car for that? Because a lot of drivers did miss out for this season in Japan. could we see the return of the commentators racing again?
Well, the commentator racing team is talking to you live right now. Me and YB, if you haven't seen, ladies and gentlemen, where on earth have you been for the season? Me and YB made an appearance in Japan for the TS Saturday race, and we did pretty well, P7 and P8. So with a team, we made our own F1 team. We were racing for Alpine, and obviously we weren't going along with the disqualifications and all that stuff. But P7, P8, YB, not bad from us.
It's not, you know what, after I got news the day after that a driver got disqualified, even though it is bad for drivers to get disqualified, I was happy. We moved up a position and we helped Alpine in the constructors as well. So that is really good for us.
Well, let me have a look at the championship actually for the TS Saturday on where we actually. Oh no. No, that's Team 12, never mind. TS Saturday, there we go. If I go into the standings, where did me and YB finish? So, YB, you had finished in... Oh, here we go. 34th, and I came 35th. Not bad at all. We had scored in total 200... Oh, no. Sorry, we didn't score 281. We got 24 and 26 points for one round, and we managed to beat... There were quite a lot of the green actually, so I'm pretty happy with that.
You know, same here for having one race, and this is no dig to the both of us, but we're not really fast compared to the rest of the grid. So you know what, to become 34 and 35th, that is actually really, really impressive.
I think it is. We've just had a think through actually from Toro. He thought his teammate was in this round. He just realised that his teammate is not in this round. Now, he has just made the biggest error if he wanted the championship, constructor championship. As I said, Track Racer 117.7 goes even quicker. 5 minutes left to go. But yeah, that is not good at all. Now Toro has just realised his teammate's not in here, and he's starting from the back of the grid.
That's not a good thing for him, and I won't mind. But Alpine have 2 drivers out. One of them's on pole, and one is yet to start to put an actual time on the board. So that is really going to cost him. And I think, as I said before, I think constructors could be going to Alpine here.
It could, but what could happen to Alpine in the race? That's the bigger question. Well, the main thing is the strategy out of here. If it stays dry here, YB, it's a famous question always to you. What is the strategy?
We could see maybe a mixture, maybe two. I think the favourite would be a 2-stop. We could see a mixture of medium or hard tyres with starting compound choice. And then obviously they'll change between the race. But yeah, it will be a harder set of compound. It will be very rare to see these drivers starting on the soft compound tyre because the tyres degrade so fast. It's around Monza, as it is, as we know, the nickname for it is the tempo speed. So we know that these tyres will degrade very fast, so we will have a 2-stop. And again, as I said, it will be very rare to see any of these drivers to go on softs.
That is definitely the case now on board with Remus. Remus, let's see what he can do. He is one of 3 drivers out on track at the moment. Now, that's interesting. Only 3 are at the moment, with only 3 minutes 20 left to go to the session. Now, when I was out, when we were doing our qualifying, I was out the whole time. I did not want to leave and then decided to go into wet compound tyres. So that was the fun part of it. Now, Sizzled as well. He is one of the Alpines, but he is at the back of the grid. Now, YB, this is interesting. He has gone purple to 1. Now, this could be interesting, actually, because his teammate is in pole position. So this is not looking good for Racing Bulls at all.
No, he's not. And realistically, he just really needs to set anywhere to try and not get Toro, and he needs to hold Toro off. So maybe the best position to actually do in his situation is to maybe finish 15th, to try and stop Toro to get up any more positions. So could that be a possibility? But I think he will set a time, and I think he'll go maybe into the top 5.
I think he will as he comes around the parabolica. What can he do for a lap time now as he comes on the last corner? What's this going to be? Will it be enough to be in the top 5? Will it be enough to be in the top 3? That's the bigger question as he comes up to the line. It is going to be only 11th fastest there, YB. That's not good at all.
No, it's not, but in the term of constructors, it's still a good thing for Alpine, but really, he should be doing better to try and really secure that, because because if he finishes in the top 5, it would have been done for Toro, unless obviously the Alpines had a hindrance of a race. But yeah, he needs to improve, and he needs to improve fast. We've only got less than 2 minutes now in the qualifying session, so that really will not help him. And Toro might be looking and thinking, could he fall even further, Cizord?
Well, this is what will be interesting. What will happen next season as well is the bigger question on will Toro manage to retain the championship, or will another driver find his way through? Well, we will find out in 2 weeks' time after this round. Well, obviously, we're racing tomorrow as well, but after that, it is the end of the season, and we will have a 2-week break before we then return back for our wonderful, wonderful rounds. And hopefully, we're in for a good treat like it was this season. Driver, he started a lap time now. YB is going to take you for a lap round Monza.
Let's get this underway as he is about to cross the line, and now let's do this. Wait, which driver was it again?
Driver.
Driver. There it is. Alright, as he goes into turn 4, turn 3, and he now goes into turn 4 and turn 5. It's a very difficult. He does get onto the power, and he does do it well as he goes now into turn 6. Do not go onto the throttle too much. Oh, that's been a snap of the rear. Just continues. He goes into turn 7. It's a bit of a thing. He will now activate DRS and will go completely forward as we have a retirement for Cizord. I think it might be the pit lane. As now he goes into turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10. It is very difficult. He keeps it onto the circuit. That is a good thing. And now he barrels down into turn 11 and into Parabolica. It will be. Let's see what his time will be. Will he improve from P3? Let's see what he can do as he goes up to the line. Let's see what he can do. He's going to dump all the battery. He goes into the pit lane and he spins.
That's so interesting. He went to enter the pit lane, and he was up in purple sector too, so one of them there. But the driver who was up is Nilu. He was up, I think, by a 10th in that second sector as he now comes through to the famous S's. Now, what can he do through here? This will be the most interesting part of the qualifying. Will he put himself up to pole position, knocking down one of the leading Alpines, which could cost the Constructors' Championship? Well, that is interesting. And there is still, I believe, a championship to be confirmed tomorrow, maybe, unless I think Red Bull actually have done it. But anyway, as Nilu comes to the Parabolica, what lap time will this be from him? That's the bigger question as he comes up to the line. It's still P2 from him. Trap Racer still provisional pole position at this moment of time. Now, who else are we involved with? Dennis, he's looking for a lap. Remus, Serman and Remus both together around, 9th and 10th there. But Trap Racer, he's invalidated his lap time, so he was done there. Froby is the returning driver. But after this, it pretty much seems like our final pole of the season will go to one of the Alpines, which Toro is not looking forward to. But remember, he's already confirmed champion, so the constructors probably don't really mean too much to him, YB.
No, it won't, but again, with the constructors, he'd really be kicking himself. He didn't think of that. So he really needs to try and move up to the grid a lot quicker. But yeah, let's see what he can do from the back of the grid. Can he do 16th to 1st? I hope so for his benefit. But yeah, let's hope that he doesn't get caught early in a DRS train.
Well, T.S. Gordon can do last to first, and well, why can't Toro from 16th to 1st? Well, we'll have to see in just a moment in time. But not T.S. Gordon, Trap Racer is your pole sitter out here for our final round of the season here in Monza for the VD Racing League Season 11, almost onto Season 12 as well. But what a qualifying that was, lots of things we've caught up on as well. As Trap Racer just comes up to the line. Now, who are we waiting for? Is it Dennis, probably? I think it is Dennis. Or there's a car in front, maybe. No, there we go. Qualifying is over this time. And Trap Racer is your pole position man. Now, if you put that into the chat, congratulations to you. You've had a little qualifying award. Now, actually, ladies and gentlemen, we've had our usuals, Max, Fan, and all the others, Jan and Jay. I'll come back to them in a minute. Track racer is your pole sitter, ladies and gentlemen. And P2 did go in the way of Nilu. P3, Nico-san. Great thing there from McLaren. 4th, Poli. 5th, driver. 6th, Julian. Now, he was one of the favourites. P7, Vastas. 8th, G-Man. 9th, Serban. 10th, Remus. 11th, Dennis. 12th, Lucek. 13th, Sizzled. 14th, Phoebe. 15th, Dutchy. And then our champion, P16, Toro Van Dijk. Now, what can he do from the back of the grid? But as I was saying before, I've completely forgot what I was going to say before, and I might catch up on that in a minute. But your race predictions, everyone, put into the chat. Why be your race prediction?
I think if we don't get any incidents into turn 1, I think it will stay in the same order. Maybe one of the McLarens go into P1, so we could see that. But I think I'm going to go whole Bloody Mary, yeah, and I think Toro is going to come from back of the grid up to P2, and I think he's going to battle Track for the lead.
Well, you might just do it, and I completely got. Sorry, ladies, I may have done something completely wrong. We don't have a 2-week break. We are back next week. Funny enough, for season 12. Just because of the new release of the DLC in 2026. For the F1 25 game, which will be in. It's confusing. It's not a new game. Please in chat. What I was going to say is, who's been the closest out of all of our listeners, our local listeners at least? Who's been the closest with qualifying predictions, and who's actually managed to gain the ones that are actually quite close? Now, in the commentary box, I don't know. I haven't really been catching who's actually been able to do it. Have you?
No, I haven't either. But I think it's, to be fair, I think it's between a battle between Jan and Max. Fan, I think, who's been getting the most correctly. So I'm not too sure who's edged the furthest, but I think it is definitely between them two.
Well, we'll have to see. 60 drivers on the grid. The countdown is on for the final round of the season here for the VD Racing League Season 11 here in Monza. One light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go for the final round of the season. It's a great start there from track racer Nilu, trying to find the inside. Off goes one of the Red Bulls on the back. Is that Dutchy? Dutchy has got off track. He's further back now. A switch possibly from Nico-san. And Nilu is a good side by side. Teammates into turn 2. Contact made between those two, but track racer gets ahead very, very, very well. As now Nico-san and Nilu still side by side action between those two. Who's going to be ahead? It's still going to be Nico-san. And that's what I would from the starting grid as well. Now, both track racer and Nico-san are on the medium compound tyres. Now that's an interesting strategy to keep along with. Now driver and G-Man, they're both fighting as well. Vasset goes for all the dive bomb now. Does he get that move done 3 wide? No, he doesn't. Still side by side with the front. He does do that move. Contact as well there. Now how was Toro done? He's into P10 already. It's a good start from him. Now as the Aston Martin tries to make a move as well on Toro. Now Toro is under a bit of pressure, but he's mostly going to try and catch up to driver Dennis and Serban side by side now. Who's going to be late on the brakes? It seems to be that Serban will have the inside line. Does he get that move done? I think he does. Now, what a good move from him, but what a start of the race it is. And as goes round, sorry, as my stream was a bit lagged there, as goes round was Sizzled. Now, that's one of the Alpines, YB. That's very, very interesting now.
Yeah, it is, and I think he must have made collision with one of the Ferraris with Serban, as he was also off as well. So that really will be good, and as I would have thought, Sizzled did try and hold off Toro, but he didn't hold off him too long, and Toro is now into P8. That really will help Toro, but Track is leading ahead, so that will be also an issue. And another key thing here is G-Man is on softs. I did say that softs would be a tyre that drivers will not use, but it seems like I've been stunned corrected.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe he did that by accident, but who knows as we now head on to lap 2. Coming through the S's now. He has had a good start, from Toro. Can he do enough to win the Constructors? Well, what a job it would be if he does get that done. Slightly was Sizzled there at P15 having an error. So he's not had a very good start. Vaxas off the track as well. Through another position, I believe, Toro goes through. And driver, I believe, was ahead of Toro probably before this. No, the driver's always behind him anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. He's got Yulan in front of him now on board with Toro. Can he do it? That's the biggest question, YB.
Oh, he's P7. It'll be at lap 2 around Monza. it could be possible. But it seems like any driver that is either ahead of Toro is just allowing him to just cleanly go through. So it could be that, but he has got a lot of work set in front of him. He's got another 6 drivers ahead of him to try and see if he can get into P1.
Well, we will have to see how he does. Side-by-side actually is Nico-san and Track Racer. Track Racer did not get away far. We've had a front wing, actually, end plate come off. Who's that from? That's one of the McLarens. Now, which McLaren is it? It is, in fact, Nilu. Nilu's had a problem there, so what on earth's happened to him? He must have just made a bit of contact with the Ferrari, but that's a shame from him there. And Nilu will just try and put pressure onto Track Racer. Nico-san has regained the lead of the race. Now, could this be his first win, Nico-san? He has yet to have a win, I believe, in this championship. And of the of even the whole VD Racing League, I believe. Could he get his first one out here? That's the biggest question. He's been in podiums, but it's never been enough for a win. Now Nilu trying to catch up to Track Racer, but Poli Trump in the Red Bull going to try and catch up. But here he comes now. Nilu, he's going to look for a move, but he knows he's got a longer straight coming up on the start-finish straight to make that move. Will he get that move done then? That's a bigger question. That's a bit of an error there from Track Racer. That's just costed him now. But why be, if you were Nilu, would you make that move or would you wait and start-finish straight?
The start finish straight is you would get DRS on that straight, so I'd be trying to sit as close as much and try and get under 2/10 behind behind Track, and I'd be using that DRS and I'd be just going and just dump all my battery against Track, which he is getting closer, but I don't think it'll be enough. It isn't.
And it's a dive bomb there from Polytron as well. Polytron makes contact with Nilu. Nilu, remember, has got front end plate damage on the front left. But it's not affecting him too much now as they keep going out of turn 2 there into turn 3. Toro is in sight of those boys now, and Track Racer is amongst that pack as well. All he needs to do is get in front of Track Racer or even win the race, but still I don't know if that will be enough to get ahead of Alpine and stay ahead of Alpine as well for the constructors. This is very, very interesting and very close towards the end of the season now. Our 2-time champion Toro, could it be enough for him to take the constructors, Whitey?
I think, if my maths correctly, no, not yet. But I think at this stage, he needs to make more positions. But realistically, with his order down into P15, he's really helping Toro, and I think he needs to make even more positions to try and seal this constructor. He really needed a teammate tonight. He didn't get one, so he has to do this on himself. But he currently at P6, nothing to really think it, and he'll be happy with that. But he will be hungry to try and get ahead of Julian.
Well, we'll have to see Track Racer now as Nicholson leads us on to lap 5 out of 27 Grand Prix. And he's very, very happy with his performance so far. And Trolli looking for a move on to Nilu, and a bit of a lock up there from Julian looking also for a move on Poli, but will that move get done? Don't think so. Sizzle and Serban switch positions further back as well, as you see on the timing screen. But Nilu, he's pretty happy at the moment, but he has got pressure from the Red Bull behind, but also trying to help his teammate get rid of Track Racer. And maybe they just know that Toro's chance of the championship could come, and that was a big snap of oversteer there from Polytron there. But Toro right to the back of Julian now, almost making contact right to the back of him there. Saved himself there, but the gap between Toro and Dennis is 4.8. So Toro really needs to preserve his tyres, because the guys are going to run hard compound tyres. Now that could be very, very interesting coming towards the end of their life.
Well, as I think it's basic knowledge, we think the hard tyre, it's going to obviously last longer, and it's going to have a much longer stint than the medium. So the hard tyre will be a lot faster towards the end of the medium's life. So realistically, you would be looking at maybe lap 10, maybe just lap 9 for these medium tyres to just go off, and these drivers will have to pit. As we've already seen G-Man into the pits a lap ago for the soft compound tyre. So let's see how struggling these drivers can do on the medium tyres. We now have a yellow flag further back, and I think that might be a Sauber of Vasquez.
It was a Sauber of Vasquez. So what on earth happened there? We're not too sure, but Toro finds the pack now. Driver and Dennis will be a bit of as well. between those two, as Remus is trying to get involved as well where he can. That doesn't try and get that move done. But look at this, close fighting. Remus and drive for the inside line. Makes a double move there, possibly onto the Aston Martin. Contact in between those two. Remus goes to the switchback this time. Will the move get done? That's a bigger question. Down the inside now he goes. Still contact made. That's an end plate also missing from driver's car on the front right. Nothing moving, missing from Remus's at all. So that's possibly where Remus gained a bit more time in him through the corners from all the front end plate missing. But still Toro yet to make that move onto Julian, but Julian has got DRS opportunity from Poli as well, so that'll be interesting to see how he manages to preserve that as well as they come around to the famous Parabolica. What will it be? Will it be enough for Toro to get past Julian? The gap between him is 6/10, but Toro is 5/10, even closer. Now we've had a spin further back. That is Serban. Serban's gone off there. Shame from him, but we could see a return from him maybe if there's a safety car. But in Monza, YB safety cars are not really, you don't really hear of them.
No, you don't. But I think the key issue is we have a massive DRS train. As I said we would, from first down to sixth. So it really is going to be an issue for Toro. He's at the very back. So he won't obviously have anyone to fight against behind him, but he's going to struggle against, for instance, Julian. As Julian's got DRS to Poli, and then Poli's got DRS to Neely, so it's really going to be very hard for Toro to try and push ahead. So he's going to have to try and save a lot of battery to try and push ahead. So it's really going to be a headache for him.
It definitely is now. Nico's son still leading the race here in lap 7 out of 27. Track Racer trying to fall in behind, but when that move will get done, who knows? Because Nilu is going to try and do something. But the big question is, will McLaren's work together, and will Nico then hold up Track Racer for Nilu to go through and then possibly make a move on him? Well, do you think that will happen, YB?
If I was the lead strategy, I would try and help my teammate, even though they are first and third. So it's a good set of points for McLaren. But you want to try and maximise the amount of points. So I would try and not compromise your thing as track goes into turn 1. He's leading. Don't do anything stupid, and he's ahead into turn 1. So that is amazing. But I think if I was Nico-san at that point, I would have tried to keep track behind and try to allow Neely to try and get that move done and to try and push the McLarens to go a lot further. But sadly, that did not happen.
Well, Track Racer regains the lead race this time on lap 8, and this is looking good from him. But can Nico-san try and fight back 4/10? Nico-san still waiting his first win of his VD Racing League career. And we will have to see if he manages to get that here in Monza for the final round of the VD Racing League Season 11, almost Season 12. Now Poli runs to the back of Neely, but still the gap 4/10 would split those two. Still Toro leading and both at 4/10. And Remus is 7 seconds. That is a gap and a half. Showing the front pack and it's showing the mid pack. That's for sure. As we keep going along now, and as a move now could be a change in McLaren's. They're both going to fight. Maybe team orders aren't a thing, and Nilu and Nico-san are both going to try and fight together. But no, Nico-san I think has just said, let's work together. Let's get this Alpine out the way and let's do him together. And maybe help Toro. Who knows? But into the pit lane goes Nico-san. Now why be that early?
It really is early, and I think you'll be going on to try and undercut Track here. That must be a communication between the two McLaren to see who will go first. I'm not sure if it is a quick stop for the McLaren, so that's going to be good for him. But he's going to be stuck in traffic. He's going to be sat in near enough the mid-pack range. That's going to really hurt him, as he's going to have to try and get up to speed. He's behind Scissor. That's going to hurt him a lot, and he's going to have to try and push a lot. So I think that's going to be a stupid move, as now Vastas is spun again, so he could be into the pit lane. I hope not, and you could see a retirement here.
Maybe not. He's going around again, so we'll see what happens with him. Track Racer, let's see what Track can do. Will he come into the pits? Will Toro follow him as well? I'm sure Toro will be watching closely as well now, as Track Racer still leads us here on lap 9 out of 27. 1.5 seconds of Nilu to Poli, and Poli and Nilu were having a good fight actually out of turn 2. Now can we see that again? Who knows? As we now come around to Parabolica, almost entering lap 10. Now, will we see the medium combat tyres coming to the pit lane this lap? Well, on board with Track Racer now. Will he dive to the pit lane? No, he doesn't. He's going to stay out for a bit more. Will Toro comes to the pit lane? He does come to the pit lane, so this apparently is the right time. Now, remember, YB, Toro may have just completely squandered his opportunity when we were at Spa. Has he done it again? That's a bigger question.
As I stated with Nico, so he's going to have to deal with a lot of traffic ahead of him. So it's really going to hinder him, as he also does go on the hard compound tyre. So that I think is what Strat is waiting for. He's not wanting to waste any entire life fighting with the back drivers. So really, Toro and Nico Son is really gonna hinder them on tyre wear. But Toro does go behind Nico Son, as we did thought as much. He's really going to hurt those tyres.
He definitely is. Now going to try and catch up to Sidwell where he can. 2.7 is the gap, but the pit stop opportunities will come through. Now, well, a big question, how long does the actual pit stop take from entry to exit, obviously including the pit stop?
As Polio gets a 3 second penalty, that's going to really hinder him with the top of the timetables. But, I think it's 20 seconds, I think. It might be a bit more, I'm not too sure.
Well, we'll have to see what these drivers do then. Dutchy and Nico Son are going to try and fight together. But Nico Son does get in the position. And remember, he's on the newer compound tyres. 9 lap versus 1 lap. And into the pit lane goes Track Racer. Now, Trat and also Poli. Now, Poli into the pit lane. He's on hard compound tyres. He probably could have gone longer, but he's maybe trying to do another strategy as well. Now, let's see what Trat does. How close does he come out? And how much further in front of Nico Son does he come out? That's the other question now. As we head down the start finish straight, Nico Son's gone a quicker lap, 1:21.2. He's the quickest driver on the track at the moment, and he has done Track Racer there. Now that's interesting. Has Toro done it? No, Toro hasn't done it. He's still stuck behind Polytron there. And there we go, side by side into turn 1 now. And what will it be? Will it be the V-Carb in front? Oh, still side by side. Hit each other actually. There was no front wing damage, I believe, and still Polytron comes out on top from that one with his fresher and newer medium compound tyre. And YB, he should really be pulling away now, shouldn't he?
I'm shocked that apparently Poly decided enough is enough with the hard compound tyre. As other drivers, it seemed to find it comfortable with these 10-lap hard compound tyres. So it could be a decision that he's done. He could be going for a hard medium. But it really is questioning, as the 2 Red Bulls are fighting in the background there, which you think Polly should go ahead easily there to try and catch tracks.
Well, through goes Toro there. He took advantage of that move because Dutchy had no DRS opportunity. Union to the top of the tables at the moment, but he's yet to pit as our leading Haas driver. But Nilu's coming to the pit lane now. Is he going to get a new front wing? Is a bigger question. No, he's not. He's going to stick with the the front left end plate missing. End plate, sorry. So we'll have to see how that goes. Nico Son comes across the line, gone even quicker, 1:21.1. All this time he's getting the quick laps, YB. He's actually starting to ruin his tyres if he's pushing like mad.
Yes, but I think at this stage, I think he's looking for a 2-stop, especially as his tyres. He needs to try and push ahead of track. I know he has a 3-second window to him, but he wants to try and push to go even further ahead. So that could be a huge thing here, what Nico Son is doing. But he's really going to burn those tyres alive, and they're going to go and degrade it much faster compared to Trat is going to try and ease those tyres. But the thing is, Trat has Polly right behind him, and Polly will be trying to look for a move on those much more quicker medium tyres. So that will be an issue. But Nico Son will definitely be wanting for Polly to try and get that move done.
That's definitely the case now, Polly. And so like a Track Racer, this could be an interesting move in terms of the positioning for the final stint, basically, unless it's going for a 2-stop. But the compound tyre versus the hard compound tyre, which driver will come out on top? So far, looking like the hard compound tyre at the moment, both of the same lap tyres, remember. So we'll have to see how it goes now as they come around the parabolica. Remus getting up. He goes into the pit lane now. Nico Son will move up another position. Side by side action between G-Man and Nilu. G-Man makes contact with the parabolic now. Gets in the inside. he loses that position? No, he doesn't. 5.7. It's between him and Serban anyway. So they're too far back anyway. But here comes Penny Drum down the inside of Truck Racer. Truck Racer tries to fight back. No. A beautiful switch in front there. And Penny Drum gains another position. He'll be very happy with that. But Nico's on now. 3.4 is the gap behind. And he's our leading drive. Well, provisional leading drive at the moment.
And in this fight here, this will become a lot more interesting. It will allow Nico to go even much further into the lead. Because you could see that time going into the 4 seconds here. It's a really a three-way battle because Toro is now going to sniff on the back of Trap. So this is really going to help Toro as much. So he'll be wanting to try and get this move done as much as quickly as possible. But I think you'd be expecting Polly to go even much more faster and try and pull way ahead of Trap. It seems Trap is catching Polly even much more slowly.
Well, once Toro gets this move done, he'll be ahead of both of the Alpines, and that's what he wants to hear. But remember, Sigurd, he is at the back of the grid, remember, so he's getting some points, but not enough. And we'll have to find out with the final classification on what it is and who will be our champions, that's for sure. Now, as it comes to Parabolica, Toro too far back at the moment, but that move could be imminent as well. Now, does Trap Racer get Hero's opportunity from Poli? I think he does, yeah, he does. So Trap's still going to take that, Dennis into the pit lane. Bring this move up to B3 at the moment, but here comes Trap Racer and Polytron now. Polytron goes one way, Trap around the other. Round the outside he goes this time. Tor's going to take advantage of this one as well. Side-by-side action, and he takes that move. Still contact made between those two. And well, will Tori see that move through? I don't think he will. Contact still made between those two, but it seems to be on the inside. It's looking like the way of Trap Racer there on the outside, sorry. And a good move from him there, regaining that position. But Toro is loving this. I'm sure he is, why? Because he's right at the back of the move, waiting for an error to occur, or possibly a crash.
But you know what? He's being very patient, Toro, and I would too. You know what? I'm surprised he's not having a bit of popcorn while having this. I know he's driving, but it's a great battle for us, and it must be a great battle for him to just sit behind and watch. As this will try and most likely benefit him and us, as we getting really good racing, and he might steal a position or two if they do collide, and if it does hinder the both of them. So this really will be going into the favour of Toro if they have even more collisions.
Well, we'll have to see. Now, Toro gets closer than ever, almost to the back of Polytron there, but Polytron's going to get Giro's opportunity on Trap Racer this time. Could it be two moves going past Trap Racer, which could determine possibly, who knows, the Constructors' Championship? We never know. Lucha gets done by Nikas on there, but here he comes now. Polytron down the inside. He's going to do a late lunge. Side-by-side action, making contact as well. Side-by-side still, Trap Racer for the inside line, and Polytron for the outside. Torres get closer than ever this time. Contact made still, and there we go. Polytron goes down the inside this time. Gets that move done, but here comes Trap Racer around the outside. Will it be enough for him to get around turn 3? Well, as they now come through, will it be enough through the chicane? And Trap Racer gets ahead this time of some good defending. And considering, well, we'll have to see what his battery is, but Polytron's battery is on 14%. That is very, very low. But Trap Racer managed to preserve his battery very, very well, YB.
You know what? I'm impressed. They both managed to somewhat keep it clean, and they still keep Toro behind. So that really is going to help them too. But Toro is getting much more quick, and he does make the move on Polly. Oh, I think there's even a bit more collision between Toro and Polly further back, so that's really going to hurt Polly. I hope he doesn't have any front wing damage, and I don't think he does at the current stage. Oh wait, no, I think he might do. No,
he does. No, I think he escaped. Yeah, he escaped the damage that time, thankfully. As Toro is going to get Diros opportunity onto Trap Racer this time. Trap Racer, though, has got Froby in front of him, so he will get Diros opportunity, but the slipstream may not come in handy, as Toro will get the hand as well. But remember, it's 18% now. Dive bomb there goes from Trap Racer. Froby is basically a sitting duck at that point. There's nowhere to go for him. He's on very, very old hard compound tyres. Fighting all this time. It's going to hold up Toro onto the back and stop. Trap Racer getting that move. Stop Toro from getting that move. But around the outside goes Toro, and he gets a move done. Contact made as well. Even more contact, and wide and off the track also goes off Toro. And contact with Froby. Contact also with Poli. 3-second time penalty from Toro. Now, will that be taken off? I don't know. But what on earth happened there? I saw a bit of a puff of smoke and a bit of bodywork, and then I saw Vassas come up. Sorry, Froby come off to the track. Now, what on earth happened there? But all this time, Nilu's catching up this time. We've had a spin possibly in turn 1 by Serban maybe, but he's all good now. But what on earth, YB, happened there?
I have no idea. It looked like I think with Froby was just ahead of both of them. Toro managed to get through, but Polly I don't think he expected it, and was still behind. And I don't think he broke in time, or one of the drivers didn't brake in time, and it just caused a collision. As another Ferrari is off. We have 2 Ferraris off in the same lap, so that's not good for the Ferraris. But yeah,
Puncher. That's a rear left puncher there from Remus, and what on earth has happened there? 15-lap hardcore tyres. YB, that is... Oh, there we go. Remus 10-second time penalty. Extreme track limit. How on earth is that 10 seconds? But that is puncher territory, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I'm surprised a lot more drivers like Froby have not even got a puncher as well. So he really must be keeping care of those tyres. You most definitely will be into the pits at this time. There's also Vastas gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So a lot of these drivers will be now wondering, is puncture territory now possible? Because that really hurt Remus, and it's really going to hurt a lot of other drivers who are going to be in puncture territory like Froby.
From win this work for Remus as well, I thought, as we think a good stop there, so we'll see what he can do. But Vantas actually got caught up in all of that, which is such a shame from him. Now, Toro, he is going to do what he can to get to track race it now, as we come on to, 10 laps left to go, there's Grand Prix for the final round of Tier Friday, and Vantas onto new hardcore tyres. Now, will Nico-san, will he still keep on the tyres? Will he try and preserve it? 5 seconds is the gap between him and track now. What on earth will happen, YB?
A little bit earlier, now Polly goes into the pits as apparently he thinks those 6 lap mediums I can't go any more further. So he'll be thinking he needs to go into the pits yet again. So he'll definitely be going towards the end on those harder compound tyres, as we only have around 9 laps to go. So that will happen. So he will more than likely will not get a puncture. But yeah, I think Nico-san and maybe Toro, they're going to really have to, from now on, they're going to have to really care those tyres, especially Nico-san, as he was doing fast lap after fast lap before, so he really needs to get those tyres, try and get those tyres into a mode and get into a groove that he is saving those tyres, so that will be a key issue for him.
I can only assume he's begging, absolutely begging for a safety car. Because that could save him, that could get him the win. His first win of VD Racing League entirely could come here for the season 11 finale here in Monza. Now let's see what happened as well with Toro on Track Racer. 0.5 is the gap now. Remember, Track Racer won't have any slipstream whatsoever now, as they have Nico-san slightly in sight. The gap actually has gone down from 5 seconds to 4.5. Now that YB is him taking a bit more of the time and just going gentle now. But here we come now to the start finish straight. What will this be? Well, Toro, he will get the rest, but he won't catch up. Fuel warning also from Toro. Now, where on earth did that come from? We saw that actually from, is it State Davey, was it? From Belgium last week.
It did as well. It seems like a strategy that maybe some drivers are using. I think that they are sometimes under-fueling their car to go a lot faster, and in the cost of that, they're going to have to try and brake a lot earlier into the corner, and they're going to have to try and lift and coast through many more corners to try and save a lot more fuel. So it really is going to maybe help them, but it could also hinder them. So that is going to be a key thing here on the last lap to see if they might have run out of fuel.
That's definitely the case now. Toro closer than ever to Track Racer, but can he get that move done? The opportunity will come once again. Now, will he get that move done? I don't think he would put Track way behind now. The penalty to the motion impulse, and with 3 seconds still go in the way of Toro and Juliana and Dennis as well. 10 seconds for Sigurd, 16 for G-Man, 10 for Mata, and 20 for Remus. Well, that's good, not good. Sorry, whatsoever. Now, as Nico-san leads us on to lap 20 out of 27, 7 laps to go. Will Nico-san's tyres last the whole way? That's a big question. Will he get a puncture like Remus did? Maybe Remus ran there, or maybe Remus just pushed too hard. Now Toro right to the back of Track Racer, still waiting for that move to get done. Will he get that move done now as we head into turn 1? The gap is going to slowly drop. 4.4. It's maybe goes to 0.3, but still Track Racer stays ahead of son Nico-san. Why is he? He's into the pits, Nico-san. Now, has Nico-san squandered his opportunity? because he's onto the medium compound tyres. Now, I didn't know if he was going to try. I didn't think anyway the hard compounds were going to last at least. But that's interesting now. Will these front two here pit, or will they try and survive?
It will be a key. It will be a key thing here, as I think Toro will be trying to think and play the game. If track pits, I'll pit. But if track doesn't pit, then Toro is going to have to make the move. So it is really going to have to be an issue. See if track pits, then more than likely we'll see Toro coming into the pit. So it's going to be to see if one of them pits, and if not, then it won't.
Well, that's definitely the case now. Track Racer, let's see what he does. Does he come to the pit around this time? And let's see what Nicholson does. Remember, he stayed ahead actually in Friday Trump, 16.8. So he's comfortably in third position. Couldn't get his first winner here. His medium combat tires are brand new. These things, actually, no, I mean, six laps usually last in the medium combat tires. I don't think the soft would do. So there's probably no point asking that. But Track Racer comes on the straight. He doesn't come into the pit this lap. Now, 15 laps hard combat tires. Ladies and gentlemen, we see the punchers come in. Now, YB, could we see it from Tori? He's lap 11 already, and there are 6 laps left to go this Grand Prix.
See that, but we'll just have to know if he has managed those tyres a lot well. And we could see, as we have a driver off a Mercedes, I think it's G-Man, further back. But yeah, we're already lap 11. We've seen Remus go off on lap 15 all tyres. So there's much to say, which I don't think he will pit, because we only have got about 6 laps left. So that is really going to hurt him. As now G-Man's off at Parabolica, I don't think we're going to get any safety.
Yeah, it would have come out by now if there was a safety car, which is a shame because that is literally what Toro and Track would love at this game. But it's still not enough, and Toro is actually closer than ever to Track Racer because he runs the back at 0.3 of a second now. Couldn't get that move done on the back straight. Could we see Track Racer or Toro go into the pit lane? That's even more of a question of whether it will happen when Nicholson get his championship hope of finally getting a win. Well, that's the biggest question, but still, I believe they stay out once again. Now, I think Track Racer is going to try and do it. I think he's just going to try and bring it home. But keep an eye on that 40.9 between Nicholson and Toro. It's been dropping, but still, it's not enough. And Toro still no move made on Track Racer, but could I can't actually tell. I don't know if Track Racer will manage to do it, or will he get a puncture? He's been pushing quite hard. Toro's got a fuel warning. Has Track got a fuel warning? That's the other question. I don't think Track will. But yeah, this is very, very interesting on what on earth will happen, YB.
We've been discussing, could one of them get a puncture, or could both of the drivers get a puncture? That's the key question, because again, we've seen drivers, for instance Remus, that he had a puncture at lap 15, and around here it's a very heavy circuit to grab tyre wear. So at one moment you might be on, say, maybe 85, next minute you could get a puncture. The puncture territory, I think, on this game is 70% tyre wear. So realistically, we could see a puncture from that moment on. So we possibly could see a puncture maybe in a couple of laps time, maybe next lap possibly. If Toro has a lot of, maybe no more luck, you could get a puncture maybe the next lap. So let's keep watching these two towards the end of the race.
Well, that could just be one of the jinx of the season there. Could there be a puncture possibly coming up? Who knows? As we now head into turn 1, Toro trying to get that move, but still too far back. He's actually going very, very easy. He knows the fuel is low, and if you heard, he was not straight on the brakes. He was cruising it in. So I think he's just letting Track Racer run ahead, and they're trying to reserve because that fuel is definitely the biggest problem with him, Friday.
This is as you don't want to underfuel a car, and you don't want to cross the line, as that time between him and Nicholson, he's going down even quicker, even though he might not get it. But if he does have bit of issues with the fuel just starting the final lap, that time is really going to drop and he's going to lose a lot more position. So realistically, if I were him, I'd try and drop a little bit further and just allow that DRS to just push him a lot more further into track. I wouldn't push for an overtake. I'd be trying to at least either push Track to mistake, or just try and keep within that DRS point to try and just keep the pressure on.
Well, that's definitely the case. But remember, keep an eye on Nico. So it was 13 laps, 13 seconds, I believe, last lap or 2 laps to go. It's now 11 seconds now. It's slowly dropping. Will we see any of these two pit at the moment? I don't think we will. So I think it was around now that Nikos pitted on that compound tyres, and we'll see what Toro does into turn 1. If he goes off the throttle, you'll notice it as well. If you look in the green at the bottom hand of the corner, he doesn't jump straight on the brakes per usual, using all that fuel. He lets it cruise in, using as little as he can. Now, as they come round into turn 3, now what will it be? 24 out of 27 for the final round of the VD Racing League Season 11, and yet we still can't confirm our race winner or our constructor. But as it stands, I believe widely, Alpine have taken it home.
I think so, and I think it would be a good position, 1st and 9th. All they really needed was some good positions for them to be making, and I mean, they have done it. But it's still on the left side. It is Toro. It still needs to make that move into first, and Track could still make a huge mistake. Possibilities could be made, but as we might not have any more jinx left, we could just see this as being the running order.
It might just be lap 14 lap old hard compound tyres, 13 lap old compound tyres, 4 lap new medium compound tyres. Right, we'll have to see how that pans out towards the end of the race. 3 laps left to go to the Grand Prix, and yet we'll have to see what these tyres do. Toro was really close this time. He managed to gain some seconds there and some tenths. But here he comes now. Good opportunity into his favour. But Trout Racing, using all of his battery, I can only assume, properly pulling away now into turn 1, going down really 10 seconds up, and that's 30 seconds he's got now. He's pretty much done for this race. So sad we had an now. It's not too far back from him. Up. 4 hits that move done, and Lucas on it's 9.1. Really, 2 laps after those Grand Prix, you wouldn't pit widely.
I don't think any of these drivers would want to pit at this stage, even though you have got the threatening of a puncher at this time. But these drivers, they want to be trying to cruise this home. You don't want to waste up the track positions. As Nicholson is about 9 seconds behind the two, and you could be dropping even a bit to 5th. Looking at this, so realistically, these drivers we're going to just have to try and stick it out and just praying that they will not get a puncture.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as it stands at the moment, if it stands as it is now, Racing Bulls will take it home with Toro, with a one-man band, will take it home by 9 points. And what a job he has done. He can just sit as he is now, but he would like to take a win for the final round of the season, the Tier Friday. He was the class champion in the next one. He's the class champion in Tier Saturday as well. Can he take the constructors home as well? That's the biggest question as we now head into turn 1 on lap 26 out of 27. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is called puncher territory for both of these drivers. Lap 15, we saw Remus have a puncher, but he's the only driver so far. But none of the other drivers have really taken the dare of going that far. As you already see Toro having huge oversteer there. Now 2 laps, that's a lap and a half basically. YB, I think Trap may just take it home. Back the constructor a go for Racing Bulls.
None of these drivers perform anything sir, they keep it on track. They don't go for any audacious moves. I think at this moment it will be set as Trap P1, Toro P2, and Nicholson P3. So I think it will continue as this way. But yeah, that's unless we do get a puncher. We have been discussing, so let's pray that does not happen.
As we now near the final Friday season, huge drive there from Toro. Just saved it there, but that was close. 1 second now. 8.1 is the gap to Nico's time. Still too far of a gap, and these tyres are really starting to go. Remember, 1 lap he needs to just continue it. 1 lap this champion needed. He has been with this season from season 1 all the way through now to season 11, yet to score a championship. But let alone, here we enter season 11, a new driver into RB, and he's now come along. What a season he has done. And we've got a driver who's gone off at turn 1 for the runoff there. Who on earth is that? But we'll see, as I believe he returns to the track there. Oh, maybe not. I believe that might be Dutchy there at the last position. But as I was saying, oh, Lucek disqualified, even more of a big problem there. But, sorry, yeah, as I was saying, Toro, he's come a long way. Started from the very, very beginning of the season. He has now brought himself to season 11. They have just done 2 championships, but could it be enough now with the Constructors' Championship as well, bringing RB to the top of the table? What a season this has been. Alpine have tried their hardest. Tina Scoresman, Track Racer, and Scissored as well. But it's still never, ever been enough for these drivers. And still, RB will come out on top. The seasons they've had, the battle they have had as well, has gone through. And we've now come to Monza for the final round of this season. And Track Racer will come along the last corner of the Parabolica. He will win out here for the VD Racing League season Friday. And what a season it's been. He's going to win out here for the final round of the season. But the Constructors' Championships is going to go the way of Racing Bulls. And what a season they have had. But we can confirm our Racing Bulls Constructors. What a season it has been for those guys. Alpine so close, but not enough from them. Toro Van Dyke, you have done 2 Drivers' Championships, 1 Constructors' Championship. That is not a bad way to end the season, YB.
It's not. He came from 16 to B2. It's an impressive race by his standards. So that really is impressive. And I'm surprised none of them even got a puncture for the last episode. They really must have take care of those tyres towards the end. But you know what? I'm impressed. He's done it on his own. He's had to combat 2 Alpine drivers. He has sat beside Track. Track has done the best he possibly could. He has fallen short. He's taken the short stick at the end of this. But congrats to Alpine. Congrats to VCarb for winning the constructors and doing it in style.
Toro is only 2nd driver in this championship to score both championships in the Tier Saturday and Tier Friday. It was Kevin Van Dyke who did it a long time ago, but Toro has looked up to him and has now agreed to join him onto the top step as a record holder as well. But what a season it's been. Toro is up to P2 and he will be very, very happy. But do not go anywhere because we do have the interviews after. But what a race it has been. Track Racer is your final race winner out here for Tier Friday. Toro, your championship winner and your constructors winner as well for VCarb. But 3rd position, Nico Sun, so close. 4th, Poli. 5th, Julian. 6th, Nilu. 7th, Froby. 8th, Dennis. 9th, Scissor. 10th, Driver. 11th, Vastas. 12th, Serban. 13th, Dutchy. 14th, Remus. 15th, G-Man. 16th, Lucek. What a season this has been. Do not go anywhere because we do have the interviews coming up. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are leaving us now, if it's time to go and grab some food for you guys, thank you so much. And it has been an honour to commentate for you guys for especially season 11 as we head on to season 12 next week. So join us next week as this will be a very interesting season. But if you are leaving us, thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you all so much for you guys, and we will see you next time. But we're not done yet because we've got the interviews, so we'll see you down there. Right. What a season this has been, and we're still yet to see our drivers as well come in. We've already got our race winner, the typical Toro. I think that's what we might call him now. Typical Toro has joined in as well as we are still waiting for the others as well. But the constructors is won by 9 points from Racing Bulls, so that'll be very, very happy with Toro and Farak as well. But it doesn't look like any of the other drivers are going to be joining so far. But YB, sum up this season, it's been incredible.
It is. Every single driver has given us a moment to just live back on. It's been an amazing race that each driver has given us, and I think it's been amazing. And I think each driver, even if they're not into the interviews, I think each driver should be able to clap themselves on the back for an amazing season they have given us, and an amazing season they've given the viewers also to watch.
That's definitely the case. Right, well, we can only start with our champion here for Tier Friday, the champion of Tier Saturday, and our Constructors champion as well. Toro, that's not a bad way to end Season 11.
I mean, to be honest, well, I thought it will end, to be honest, differently. I wanted to win, of course, but, well, yeah, I think I boxed a bit too early, let's be honest. I wanted to undercut, but I didn't expect that the tires between lap 1 and lap 2 will be that much of the difference. So yeah, it is what it is. Uh, VDC is done. VCC, I think I lost, so it is what it is. So yeah.
Well, you have kind of joined yourselves into the record book because you're the second driver to score 2 championships alongside the constructors as well. I mean, how do you even feel about that?
I mean, I'm really happy. The best thing in that this is my worst game in my career. So yeah, that's a bit funny.
Well, what a race you've had. The strategy may have been interesting as well. Were caught up in a bit of traffic, but was that really a huge problem for you?
I mean, the problem was that everybody was on hards. I was the only one with trad and Nicholson on mediums on that when there was the DRS train. So yeah, it was a bit a problem, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, but you still come out as a constructors champion. You and Furak working together all season. Has he been a good teammate? It's the biggest question.
I mean, well, I mean, he did his job. He scored points. So yeah, that's the most important, I guess.
Well, you've got your other teammate in here as well, who's listening, Ruben. Well, that will be tomorrow. Obviously, you have obviously done tomorrow, and Ruben in P2 there, which is a shame that he can't race. But why be any questions from you?
Yeah, towards the very end, how much were you stressing that the tyres would not give out to you? Like, how much were you just praying that you wouldn't get a puncture?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't care. For me, I either win the race or get a puncher. So
Right, thank you.
Any more from you, YB?
No, no more.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much sums up season 11 for Tier Friday. We are back tomorrow, same time for the Tier Saturday, and Toro, sadly, has already won that championship as well. And the constructors, I believe, already gone the way of Red Bull as well.
Yeah.
So that's even defined as well. So that one's more of a fun race, I think, for these drivers to enjoy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a big support. And we will see you all next week for the start of season 12. And what that season can bring is the biggest question, with no Boaty onto the grid as well. Well, that would be interesting. But if you're not joining us tomorrow, thank you so much. And I hope you have a very nice week as well. So until then, thank you very much.